Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I welcome you back in the second lecture of the lesson Shillong, the rock capital of India. So let me remind you that in the previous lecture we dealt with the writer of the lesson, who is Ranaditya Barua, who is an Indian journalist, and he has written in this lesson in the form of an essay. So in the previous lecture we read that the author, the writer, he tells us that every town and every city is famous for something, okay? And similarly, Shillong is famous for the music, a specific type of music known as rock and roll, okay? Then he tells us that Shillong was not very known, it was not famous until the Britishers in 1829. The Britishers established a hospital, okay, a sanatorium in Shillong, and the beautiful place Shillong, it reminded Britishers of their countryside, okay. That's why they called the place the Scotland of the East, okay. Now today we are going to deal how and why was the place known as Shillong. So let's begin. So the writer tells us that the name Shillong was adopted to this village because of its location, okay. What does it mean? It means that Shillong is located below a peak, below a mountain peak. This is known as Shillong Peak. It is known as Shillong Peak, and it is located below this Shillong Peak. That's why it is known as, and it was named as Shillong. Okay, point number one. Point number second. In 1874, Shillong became capital of Assam. It means under the British rule of India, or we can say under the British rule of Shillong. Okay. So what happened in 1874? It became capital of Assam. There are actually the essay is full of information regarding Shillong. So you need to remember these dates. Okay. Another date mentioned is 1972. So it is after the independence of India. What happened? After the independence of India in 1972, Meghalaya became an independent state. Okay, Meghalaya became an independent state and Shillong became its capital. Remember that. Shillong became the capital of independent Meghalaya in 1972. Another date is important here. It is before independence of India, 1830. What happened in 1830? Many Christian revolutionaries. Many Christian revolutionaries. Who are Christian revolutionaries? Who propagate Christianity. जो Christianity फैलाते हैं. Okay. Now they were set up. They came to Meghalaya, and when they came, they got with them choir and gospel music. So what is this choir and gospel music? But choir music जो होता है, actually it is sung by a group of singers, band wise. It is sung by a group of singers, and it is common in Shakespeare's plays. अगर आप देखेंगे अक्सर जो Shakespeare plays है, there is chorus, वहाँ पे chorus होते हैं, ठीक है, जो sing करते हैं, मगर उनकी singing जो है वो किसी theme पे base होती है. Are you getting me? तो accordingly जो ये choir and gospel music है, actually it is a religious music here, okay, and it contains the views. It contains all the views regarding Christianity. जो ये gospel music होता है, हाँ, that's how they propagate Christianity while singing, okay. And in 1830, This choir and gospel music was introduced as the first music in Shillong. पहली बार कोई वेस्टर्न म्यूजिक वहाँ पे आया है, वो यही था. ठीक है. Now, if music became very famous in Shillong, it was known as, it's another important point, Shillong Chamber Choir. Okay, this Shillong Chamber Choir, it became very famous. Okay, and this choir, it shows the importance of music in Shillong. Okay. Another point, and the essayist mentions here, he says is that the music of Shillong is so popular that even it is more famous than Bollywood music. Okay, and it is sung now worldwide, and the people residing in Shillong who are known as common Khasis. Okay, तो आगे पढ़ेंगे बेटा इनकी और introduction हुआ. They were simple living people, huh? Very humble people, and very hostile people. Okay, one important point is here that Shillong produced different types of music too, huh? There are different varieties of music. That is, metal is there, it is not that metal. Okay, it's a type of music. Hip hop is there, jazz is there. Okay, there are 3 varieties of music. So these were different kinds of music played in Shillong. Okay, when you talk about different local bands, remember that local bands a group of singers. Local bands in from Shillong, they became very famous, and one of the bands was known as Soulmate. This Soulmate, it revolutionized Shillong. It brought a revolution in music from Shillong. Okay, and what did it do? Remember, in 2007, it was an international blues challenge. Remember that, blues challenge. It's a type of music too. 2007 में क्या हुआ बेटा? International blues challenge was organized. Okay, where? In Memphis. So Memphis is a city in ancient Egypt. Okay, it is a city in Memphis is a city in ancient Egypt, Misr में, huh? And in this challenge, the musicians, the soul band from Shillong performed very well, and it became very famous. Okay. The writer then talks about Lu Mojo. Who is this Lu Mojo? Lu Mojo is the grand old man of Shillong. He is a grand old man of Shillong, and he is famous for rock and roll scene. Remember that. तो ये तो पहचान ही है शिलोंग की, हाँ. So he is famous for this rock and roll scene. And since, what about him? Since 1972, he has been organizing birthday of Bob Dylan. Remember that. Since 1972, he organized birthday of Bob Dylan. Who is Bob Dylan? You know that. He is considered one of the America's greatest songwriters and singers. Okay. It is because Lu Mojo, he considers him as his master because he thinks that he has learned a lot of things from him. Are you getting me? So that's why he, since 1972, even though at the age of 71, he still celebrates his birthday. And year by year, the number of participants increases. Okay. And one thing more, it is Lu Mojo's childlike approach. It means that he is very eager to love music. He is very eager to listen music. Are you getting me? And he is regarded as a living embodiment of Shillong's musical spirit. What does that mean? It means that this person, this old man, Lo Majo, he is a person who represents Shillong's musical spirit. Are you getting me? So he is a person who tells us that how much attracted and attached the people of Shillong are towards music. So we shall stop here. Inshallah, I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, revise the text and fi amanillah.